Hello and welcome to another edition of Eye on Port. This program is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority Oil Company Limited, Serene Insurance and Ghana Link, who are the operators of the Integrated Customs Management System. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Folks, there's been a lot of reports concerning the global shortage of containers, and this has disrupted supply chains worldwide. As a result, we have decided to delve deep into this matter and to find out how this global shortage of containers affects Ghana's maritime trade. Take a listen. The head of freight and logistics at the Ghana Shippers Authority, Fred Asedudate, has bemoaned the huge numbers of shipping containers that are uncleared at the ports of Ghana by individuals and state agencies. According to him, the uncleared cargo sitting at Ghana's ports are compounding and severely impeding the flow of containers out of the country, as well as congesting port terminals.
When it comes to consignments for government agencies, the law does not allow customs to auction those goods. And so you have containers sitting in the port. Some have done 100 days, some have done 300 days, and I tell you, some have done 5 years in the port. It's amazing. This is unacceptable.
Speaking on Eye on Port on the global shortage of containers and its impact on Ghana's shipping industry, he disclosed that the Ghana Shippers Authority is leading an industry-wide committee with the shipping lines, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to roll out a standard operating procedure to prefer effective solutions in the administration of the uncleared cargo list.
The idea is that, one, we will streamline the processes, we will deal with all the challenges, make recommendations, and I believe that the Customs Commissioner, the Commissioner General, the Director General of GPHA, and the Chief Executive of the Ghana Shippers Authority, are fully committed to this. And once the committee comes up with very good recommendations, which I believe they will, then that will be escalated for implementation.
There has been reported shortage of shipping containers worldwide, and this has caused severe disruptions in the global supply chain. As a result, some pundits in Ghana's shipping sector have called for a reorientation in the attitude towards shipping, while highlighting the impact of the shortage of boxes on Ghana's maritime trade. An agro-commodities trader and CEO of Maxwell Investments Group, Maxwell Ampong, attributed the global shortage of containers mainly to the world's overdependence on imports from the Far East, especially China.
Locally in Ghana, there's a huge market for imported goods, whether we want it from the West, US, Europe. We have to keep in mind that even the West, US, Europe, outsource their production to China. So China is at the center of this whole debacle. They are the center of everything. So when these containers leave and don't circle back, the global circulation equilibrium is distorted.
He said, additionally, with Western economies unable to recover as quickly as China did during the COVID-19 pandemic, the situation exacerbated, impeding the rotation of boxes across ports.
You have an increased demand, and now you have all the ships that's ready, but you don't have shipping containers, because the container that at this point without COVID should have been in, let's say, Poland, Copenhagen, are now somewhere else.
Right.
Bloomberg reported in February, just at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, 40 shipping vessels all queued up waiting to be cleared simply because of COVID restrictions, lack of manpower, lack of equipment. And when this happens, it's you and I that suffer.
The CEO of Maxwell Investments Group also indicated the accompanying impact of the week-long blockage of the Suez Canal after the grounding of the Ever Given container ship as contributing to this trend. Maxwell Ampong explained that the shortage of containers has inevitably contributed to the massive increases seen in freight rates since the pandemic broke out.
Chicken leg quarters, which is a frozen chicken product, have had price increases considerably, about 20% every week, considerably at every step of the way. So now what happens is that companies that that are import dependent are hesitant to enter long-term contracts.
The head of freight and logistics at the Ghana Shippers Authority, Fred Asedudate, reiterated the rippling effect of the astronomical increases on freight on the ordinary consumer.
40-footer containers from the North China area was around 3,600. This was back in maybe June 2020. By December 2020, it had gone up to 7,950. And by May 2021, it has gone up to 10,200. And as we speak, it is between 12,000 and 13,000 for a 40-footer container.
You opined that another means of improving the circulation of boxes from the local perspective is to increase exports.
When the imported cargo comes in, it does not have return cargo. And so the cost of the repositioning of the container and everything is built into the cost of the freight. And so I think that if we're able to improve our export base, it also helps to mitigate the level of the freight.
Maxwell, on the other hand, said the shortage of containers has made it necessary for a focus on regionalization to eliminate the overdependence on China.
We need to increase supply of whatever we need, and if there is a problem with that link far away somewhere across the sea, we have to look around us. We have to look internally. Denmark did it in the 80s. Now Denmark is an export country. It's not something that happens within a blink of an eye, but we need to look at other alternatives. We need to force ourselves, because this is the time that it makes sense to be innovative.
That was some insight into the global shortage of containers and how it impacts Ghana's maritime trade, as well as what Ghana can do to curtail the situation. Eye on Port returns after this break.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water, or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome back. You're still watching Eye on Port. Now let's take some local port and maritime news.
The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luguje, has praised the trading community in Burkina Faso for using Ghana's ports and corridors ahead of other francophone countries over the years. The DG of GPHA was speaking during a courtesy call by the Deputy Managing Director in charge of support services at the Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ajaba Patricia Badolo, to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority.
Competition from Togo, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, which are francophone and also CFA. If despite that, Ghana is number 2.
Michael Luguje assured of the ports of Ghana's continued delivery of reliable services to the trading community of Burkina Faso and revealed major plans by government to provide alternative cargo transport routes to serve the Sahelian regions.
The idea is to do rail. There's already rail line that is being constructed from Tema to the lake, and the expectation is that we can build a small port at the lake and then build another small port in the north at the end of the river, so that cargo can move from port by rail to water and then up north. So far the studies show that if you use that mode, there is an advantage, there's a cost advantage.
The Deputy Managing Director in charge of support services at Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce and Industry assured of continued collaboration with Ghana's Port Authority to woo more traders to use Ghana's ports.
A delegation from the Ministry of Finance has held a sensitization workshop with top management of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority on the Public-Private Partnership Act and the Public Investment Management Regulations introduced in 2020. This program forms part of a nationwide sensitization program to provide information to state-owned enterprises on the rights, guidelines, and due processes necessary to stay within the legal boundaries for procurement and infrastructural investment. Lead at the infrastructure sector of the Public Investment and Assets Division at the Ministry of Finance, Daniel Yaboa-Forsen outlined some of the new modules entrenched in the regulations.
So the law mandates GPHA to set up what we call the Public Investment Unit to help prepare their projects ahead of time. As a covered entity, they need this training, and officers within that unit, the PIU unit, needs to be trained on the various functions, roles that they need to play, so that when they finally set up one, they will know what to do.
He said implementation of these laws will help state agencies like the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to adequately prepare, secure funding, cut costs, and complete projects within projected timelines. Plans are afoot for the Gambia Port Authority to establish a well-functioning dock labour company at the port of Banjul. In this light, a Gambian delegation comprising management personnel of the Gambia Port Authority, dock workers, and officials from the local Maritime Labour Union has embarked on a study tour to the port of Tema to observe how the Ghana Dock Labour Company functions. The General Manager in charge of corporate planning at the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Samuel Intokumi, briefed the delegation on the origins of the labour company as well as the advantages and the challenges of such an establishment.
It was registered as a limited liability company. But of course, it was supposed to operate as a non-profit, so that whatever money they get, it will be plowed back into the business to enhance operations, to improve the welfare of the workers. So it was done with a lot of support from GPHA, providing office accommodation, provide training, provide a whole lot of things to bring it up.
The Managing Director of the Ghana Dock Labour Company, Elisha Odum, further touched on the organizational structure and the operations of GDLC, including the expansion of the company's portfolio beyond port work.
We have another branch in Takrady, about 4,000 workforce, and they go from dockers, those that do the loading and offloading, to machine operators, to office staff, data entry clerks, tally clerks, and all that. It has become a conduit by which GPHA also do recruitment, if I should say.
The representatives of the Gambia Port Authority said the study tour will help create a roadmap for the imminent implementation of a dock labour scheme in their country.
Goil, in the service of the nation. North, south, east,
we are at the Sakandi Trotro station in the heart of Takrady. So in Takoradi, we have stations in Sekondi, Esikado, Beposo. We have one at Bakechi. When you are going towards Western North, our stations stretch all the way to Halfasini, Enchi. We are well represented with about 5 stations in Takwa. We have stations all over. I want to assure drivers that we have their interest at heart. So they should be well aware that when they get to our stations, they are assured of quality, quantity, and they are assured of good customer service.
Yeah, advert Bibu Martin Ka Super SP 195. Yeah, petrol ni ya ahabamono. Ena petrol normal one na wo market no. Kokko a obi anim no. Enie. Uto di gu kai mu a esansa na ho ode no ewo soro ni ntino. Eche ewo wo ka no. Esan so ema winji no eye adwuma yie. But we no ebe ni yie. Enti enja sa black smoke bia eden. Ewo engine block no. In addition to that no, yedi eduro aso Ghana ha no, your diesel na hodo mienu. 2 grades of diesel. Your high sulfur diesel and your ultra low sulfur diesel. It is gone. Yes, you high sulfur and from now. Yes, ultra low sulfur. Oko Europe ni adia. The highest sulfur was omunya 10 ppm. Uba Ghana ha. The highest sulfur was 50 ppm. That is the maximum. And to stations being as high as 1,500 ppm. Into Okota, for signboard the airport, OCF into better, O damage your car. Stay with that. Yeah, talk ultra low sulfur. So the difference in doing 50 ppm now, if you are 10 ppm, 15, 19, and I hear Tom. If you pass Odia, Ubena will you diesel no, no. Now a drone so that extra benefit to you.
XPPA additive na our go for no no. Otin in so over film. So injectors all fear. All to go for no. No clean no injectors so more. You know, according to other essential to injector cleaner is it good. We engine another kind beam. And my enemy now when you do say extra on no more mileage.
Yeah, go for product or abano. Yeti a yedi echi ni say one product ni quality. Yenim say adwuma ya na ye. Eno na edi ensa na aduane ebrayen. Iti bibia ebe bia wo car ne ho bia ese ye ni yie. Na etimi di yen kwa enim ye nya sika de hwe busua. Ya the last year election year a whole lot of activities was so. And so yes statistics so bad so tey. The better go from Swasi, Jumedia would be the boy in last year. Yeah, in Renfi once dada. Ya cost one for that. Secondary station, yet that was a pa. To see a DNA to why yes, she will be a Jumedia or the original. Now, you will say Jumedino, Eswe, ni papa. Or sometimes we see I mean, share any jacket me see I may say I'm a Monitaniama. We will say Mudi pa.
And for yes, yes, if you don't American, Yarepa, driver for the American and you see, yes, your boy delivered a low cost a lot. Nay, I brought to her. So, nay, it didn't tell what on connection one, because of what I say, and the most of them will get. If you are made money, one answer for what on the position, you now convert to the meat. You may only down per day. Therefore, one product or your good.
Well, yeah. Ghana yala ya dia and what be ala wali yeno where would the standard of Ghana and the one petrol oye nti obeye de bi ala boka ko to fuel o
me sia di pi e fi go for minya car 2 years me use gold products minya problem ja ti gold at times ye bit mpa me di from me de catch drivers no
mohun must one what difference no so at the end of the day now calculate so we invest na w say no kwa nya o dia ba betra pie kan say o dia nso a we can be ball now so for no na so o ka ni cha na da bi ka o be ko no de e so hu say eno no e ye sen say de e be ye short term
for the best go leave good energy.
Also, let's now take some international port and maritime news happening all over the world. A cargo vessel collided with a dredger in the waters of the South Harbor Anchorage area in Manila, the Philippines, in the early morning hours of 8th July 2021. The ships in question are the Philippine-flagged vessel MV Palawan Pearl and Cyprus-flagged utility vessel BKM 104, according to the Philippine Coast Guard. The incident caused the 345 gross tonnage Palawan Pearl, which carry 3,000 liters of diesel in its oil storage tank, to tilt and take on water. The ship also has a drum of diesel oil, 60 liters of engine oil, and 60 liters of bilge oil. Luckily, no injuries have been reported after the collision. Technip FMC has secured its first integrated engineering, procurement, construction, and installation contract with Tullow Oil for the Jubilee Southeast Development offshore Ghana. The contract covers supply and offshore installation of all major subsea equipment, including manifolds and associated controls, flexible risers and flow lines, umbilicals, and subsea structures. The company said it had utilized its subsea studio digital solutions at the pre-tendering stage to help optimize field layout by improving economics, enhancing performance, and reducing emissions throughout the life of a project. After being stuck in the Suez Canal for over 3 months, the 20,000 TEU container ship Ever Given has left the waterway as the Canal Authority and the owners of the vessel reach a final deal on compensation. The two sides came to terms after the compensation for the ship's grounding in the waterway at the end of June, after a month-long tug-of-war on the height of the claim and shifting of the blame for the incidents. Initially, the Suez Canal Authority sought compensation worth $960 million, which the owners turned down as too high. Subsequently, the claim was reduced to $550 million, provided that $200 million is paid in advance, while the remaining $350 million is paid as letters of guarantee.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Now it's time for the schedule of vessels that have berthed within the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. All right, so let's listen to a few comments from viewers of the program.
Isaac from Takrady says, great show Iron Port. Something must really be done about this container shortage, but freight charges have gone up astronomically. Miftao from Tamale Central says, the sector is facing some challenges like inadequate availability and rising rates of raw material, increasing shipping freight, container shortage and inverted duty structure due to certain free trade agreements. This one says, can shipping lines compel countries like Ghana who don't return boxes to do so? Our panelists say they don't have knowledge of such, but they are confident measures being put in place by government will yield results and eliminate unwarranted delays caused by the uncleared cargo list.
All right, so that's all for today's edition of Eye on Port. Thank you for watching, and I say a big thanks to the entire crew.